Now, Berlin is one of the mainstay marathons on the calendars, and actually it kicks off the post-summer marathon major series. But what are the top 10 tips that you need to know before running the Berlin Marathon? The Berlin Marathon is one of the most popular marathons in the world, with over 50,000 runners tackling it every year. Now, I've compiled my top 10 tips for smashing the Berlin Marathon, as well as making the most of your time when traveling to this amazing city. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button at the bottom. That way you'll be supporting the channel and you won't miss any of my future running videos. So here are my top 10 tips for running the Berlin Marathon, including the best locations for your supporters to watch and track you. Number 1, study the course. The Berlin Marathon is notorious for its flat and fast course, but knowing the specific twists and turns can give you a strategic advantage. Knowing where the key landmarks are along the route will help you for orientation and visualize your race strategy. And remember, familiarity breeds confidence. Keep in mind where the water aid stations are too. I ran with the masses and found that because it's such a huge field of runners, the first few water aid stations tended to be bottlenecked and quite narrow. So if you can carry some water along through these, that might make things a bit more helpful to avoid a little bit of foot traffic and you slowing down too much. Also, well worth remembering where the photographers and videographers' positions are for those perfect race day pictures. Number 2, get to the Expo nice and early. Rather than a generic exhibition building or hall, Berlin uses a vacant airport complete with old departure lounges from yesteryear and empty check-in desks for companies that actually no longer exist. It really feels like stepping back in time, and it's a pretty cool setting. And as it's in September, the open air exhibits on the runways is a cool feature where you can walk around and take in the unusual surroundings. I personally don't tend to spend huge amounts of time at the expos, but I suggest get your bib number and your chip sorted early and get out and explore the amazing city of Berlin with all its attractions and history. Number 3, optimize your supporter locations. The Berlin Marathon is well known for its fantastic crowd support, so use it to your advantage. Feed off the energy of the spectators and don't forget to acknowledge their cheers all the way around the course. Having a support crew there will give you a massive psychological boost when times get a little bit tough and challenging on the course. I found that the distance between the 10-kilometer marker and the final straight at the Brandenburg Gate weren't too far apart geographically, which gave 2 particularly good vantage points without having to use public transport at all. It's particularly helpful if your supporters don't want to use public transport or they struggle walking long distances. Number 4, start line and finish line location research. So yes, this is an obvious one, but you should do some reading on where your starting gate is located and where the finishing pickup zone is before race day. Some location reconnaissance is probably a good idea. You're going to have enough stresses on the morning of the race, so this kind of removes one of those stresses away. In Berlin, the start line and the finish line are all in the same Green Park area, and it's in a central location and it's close to a lot of the tourist hotspots. So it's a very convenient location to check out well in advance. It will save you time for bag drop, time for getting into race mode, and extra time for you waiting in those inevitably long Portaloo queues. Number 5, transportation. Berlin has one of the best public transportations in the whole of Europe. But if you're like me, your German isn't amazing, it's well worth plotting your journey to and from the start line in advance. Having a plan in place for your loved ones to pick you up after the race is absolutely key. The exit zone is right in front of the Reichstag building, and it's just a short walk or hobble from the Hauptbahnhof transit hub with great links across the whole city and the surrounding areas. We stayed near Alexanderplatz, which wasn't too far away, and we found that local Berliners were super helpful when we weren't sure on what train to get. So if you don't know where you're going, just ask. Number 6, Sightseeing. Like a lot of the marathon major cities, Berlin has got so much for you to see and do. Whether it's the East Side Gallery, Museum Island, Checkpoint Charlie or any other tourist attraction, there is something for everyone. Make sure to visit iconic locations like the Reichstag and the Brandenburg Gate. Berlin has also got several hop-on and hop-off tours. We had a boat trip down the River Spree included in one of our bus tickets, which is a great way to explore and see the city from a different vantage point and also get your bearings too. So make sure you shop around on the deal that best suits you. My advice is to use your hop-on and hop-off ticket as much as possible. So save your steps and that all-important energy for race day, because you're going to need it. If you're an out-of-towner, consider even restructuring your trip a little bit to incorporate some sightseeing days after the race. Number 7, race day preparations. Berlin's weather can be unpredictable, so check the forecast and plan accordingly. Dress in layers that you can shed if it warms up and be prepared for rain and wind. Being weather savvy ensures that you are ready for anything Mother Nature has to throw at you. In 2019, when I completed my first Berlin Marathon, we were absolutely bone dry at the start, but from about 10 kilometers in, it was torrential rain, so we're absolutely soaked. We were completely wet through and dodging puddles from about 1 hour into the race. One thing is for sure, be prepared for Euro dance music whilst you await the starting gun. It will definitely get your blood pumping and energised for the start, so get to your gate early. Number 8, hug that blue line. It's a common tactic for major marathon running, but although the course is generally flat, Berlin has its fair share of turns and roundabouts, so if you're focused on smashing that personal best, I suggest hugging that blue line. And remember, that blue line's there for a reason. It's your quickest route from A to B. Remember to start conservatively and gradually increase your pace. Consistency is key to avoid burning out before the finish line. Number 9, aid stations to avoid. Now we all know fueling your body is absolutely essential for endurance running. You need to plan your nutrition strategy and avoid sponsored stations that you've not trained with before. Sometimes the sponsored aid and recovery stations can seem like a really good idea without previously experimenting with their products, like a recovery muscle spray, any gel or isotonic drink, especially if you've exhausted your own supplies and have crashed in to the dreaded wall. One of Berlin's sponsored tents used to be Red Bull, and I made the error of thinking that would give me a boost for the final few miles of the 26.2 mile race. Let's just say it didn't give me wings. So stick to what you've been training with and what your body is comfortable with. Hydration is equally important, so make sure you grab water or sports drinks at the aid stations along the route, but only products that your body is used to. And finally, number 10, finish and celebrate. Have a post-race recovery plan in place, from rehydration to proper stretching. Taking care of your body after the race is crucial for a quicker recovery. Crossing that Berlin finish line is an amazing achievement. Take the time to celebrate your hard work and dedication, and that can be with a post-race meal, a massage, or simply reflecting on your journey, savouring the moment and being proud of what you've accomplished. If beer or music is your thing, then get involved in one of the German beer hall after parties. With a bit of dehydration, you'll be a cheap date, but it's a great way to dance away some of the aches and pains from the race, and you'll definitely feel less stiff the next day. So there you have it, my top 10 tips for absolutely smashing the Berlin Marathon. So best of luck to all the runners out there that are tackling Berlin this year. If you found these tips helpful, please drop a comment in the comments box below. If I missed any out, if you've done it before, also let me know, I'd love to read them. I hope to see you soon here on the channel, and don't forget, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. That way you won't miss any of my future videos. But until next time, happy running.